He's one of South Africa's foremost artists who spent over 2 decades working in the city of gold, which has also been the source of inspiration. His name is Nhlengethwa, and he has decided to reflect on the sights and sounds he's absorbed during his 25 years right here in Johannesburg with his new body of work titled Joburg Selected. The jazz aficionado and collector, who regards himself as a non-practicing jazz musician, joins us now to tell us more about his latest exhibition. Sam, it's always great to have you here on the show. Thank you so much for coming.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
If you had to reflect on just the past decades of your journey in this space, what would you describe or define this current phase of your career as?
Well, it's been a very challenging one, but exciting as well, because you do something new all the time. But I must say, the city itself has been my inspiration, because
Indeed.
like I've had one studio in Newtown, and then now I'm in Nemabone in August House. So I'm part and parcel of Josie.
Quickly take us through this 25-year relationship that you've had with the city. What has that looked like for you, and how has it changed or evolved over time?
Well, it has evolved in many ways, because, like, you know, there were times, I mean, like in the 90s, when the city was just like deserted. Everybody left, and then you sort of like move around freely, etc. But lonely to a certain extent, because, like, if I remember very well, I mean, we used to have very, very exciting flea markets around the new town. I mean, restaurants, and things went down. And then some few years later, the city came back, but in a very different way compared to it used to be in the past. But we've seen it all around the city, and there are shops that we used to visit and buy clothes, but they are no longer there. But I mean, we've seen it all around the city, so that's what I can tell you.
From the moment you set foot in Johannesburg to now, take us through that journey, the different emotions that you felt, the different hardships, the challenges, the joys that you felt in the city, things that excited you, that ignited different passions. Just talk to us about that personal experience that you've had with Johannesburg City. The
personal experience that one had about the city is just when you were in a taxi going to the station to come to the city. Your heart will sort of like beat fast because you forgot to take your ID. And you know that
yes, those times.
Yes, you know that off Park Station, the police are waiting for you. So you just like have to say to the taxi driver, stop. Aren't you going to the station? No, I forgot my ID. That is important. But like in those years, I mean, we know it was very hard in South Africa. And if you see a policeman, you wish you can apologize without doing anything, because you know that you could be the victim of the system. So those were the toughest times of being in the city. You know, sometimes when you tell the youngsters that now, guys, we're living large, and the city has never been like this before. It used to be tough, but what I liked about the city was clean.
Let's talk about those sounds and sights that when you hear them, you know you're in Johannesburg. Whether it's in a dream, you can recognize that this is Johannesburg. Those things that really make you, or make the city resonate with you. For
me, being a jazz fan, one of my exciting moments was to attend to some jazz performances, be it gippies, be it bassline, etc. But the delight was again to go home, buying about 4 or 5 vinyls from Kohino, because Saturdays Kohino would be packed with jazz lovers, and even Hillbrow Record Center, we would go there to buy vinyls. So I think the music and the performances around the theaters, they kept us going. We sometimes forgot that we are oppressed as people, because we would be going there to go and watch a performance either by Brajoni Kani or other performances. You know, those they kept us alive. Those the cultural practices that used to happen around the city, they kept us alive. So I do miss such moments.
Yes.
And I know somewhere they're trying to sort of like keep us alive with performances, but it's no longer the same. Yeah, it's no longer the same.
Where can people catch, or when rather can people catch this exhibition?
The exhibition is happening at the Goodman Gallery in Rosebank. As one has been like very close to Josie. I've done paintings in the past, Josie people, and then I've done the other one about the recycling guys. But all the time, you know, in front of the guy who's pulling his trolley, I would see the building, and I said, why don't I sort of focus into these buildings that I love around the city? And then on Sundays I would sort of like move around and say, I want the building to deal with. Yeah. So that's because one wouldn't know what would happen 20 years from now. Those buildings probably won't be there.
Yes.
And then I've recorded them in a way, just like photographers Alf Kumalo or David Goldblatt. I mean, like there are structures that they took during that period, and some of them are no more, but we have them on record.
And we can almost see the same thing happening in recent times.
Absolutely.
Sam, it's always such a pleasure to have you on the show. Wish we could chat all morning long. Thank you so much for sharing your work with us.
It's my pleasure, and I wish Mapogo the best.
Definitely. They're bringing back the cup, so we're very excited about that. That's jazz aficionado, collector, and one of South Africa's foremost artists, Sam Nhlengethwa, speaking to us about his latest exhibition titled Joburg Selected, which is on at the moment at the Goodman Gallery.